Hi, thanks for stopping by. My name's Joey.
And I'm Caleb.
And welcome to the Afternoon Delights Special.
On today's episode, we will be breaking down Hollywood and how they portray women, focusing mainly on the movie Anchorman.
And for those of you who don't know, Anchorman was a movie released in 2004, and it's made over $84 million since then. It's seen by millions of people, so we thought this was a good movie to talk about.
Media presents us with images of how men and women should act.
Now let's talk about some specific scenes that we noticed after watching it that we'd like to talk about that shows feminism in the workplace. For those of you that don't know the summary of Anchorman, here it is. Ron Burgundy is a top-rated anchorman in the San Diego area around the 1970s. When feminism marches into the newsroom in the form of an ambitious newswoman known as Veronica Corningstone, Ron is willing to play along at first, as long as Veronica stays in her place, covering cat, fashion shows, cooking, and other feminine interests. But when Veronica refuses to settle for being just eye candy and steps behind the news desk, it's more than a battle between two perfectly qualified anchor persons. It's war. The first scene we're going to talk about is when Veronica first comes into the newsroom and how the men act like pigs and they treat her as a sex object.
In addition, a lot of you have been hearing the affiliates complaining about a lack of diversity on the news team.
What in the hell's diversity?
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Ron, I would be surprised if the affiliates were concerned about the lack of an old wooden ship, but nice try. Diversity means the times are changing. And with that in mind, Ron, are you paying attention?
Nope.
Well, this concerns all of us.
Okay.
Keeping that in mind, I'd like to introduce the latest addition to the KVWN news team, directly from WYPN in Asheville, North Carolina, Ms. Veronica Corningstone.
Hello, everyone. I just want you all to know that I look forward to contributing to this news station's already sterling reputation.
Noises! All right, everyone relax. She's not going to take anyone's airtime.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears. The bears can smell the menstruation.
Well, that's just great. You hear that, Ed? Bears. Now you're putting the whole station in jeopardy.
I will say one thing for her, Ed. She does have a nice big old behind. I'd like to put some barbecue sauce on that button. Just.
Stop it now!
Oh, look at that full moon butt. Look at it.
When Veronica joins the news team, the men act very immature and profane when talking about Veronica. They see her as a sex object and nothing much more. Let's look at how the newsroom intro is when the men are just on the set.
Go time.
Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy. Chamkine Sports. Rick Tamlin Weather. And your reporter in the field, Brian Fantana.
It's Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
As you can see, the men on the Channel 4 news team enjoy working together. They work as a group, and they enjoy their job. Now let's take a look at what happens when a woman enters the scene.
When he tells me I better get in line, I can't hear what he's saying. When I grow up, I'm gonna make it mine. These ain't...
During the newsroom intro, where Veronica is in the intro, the men try to mess with her and treat her as an outcast to try to get her to mess up. One issue Veronica had to deal with when joining the news team was glass ceiling. She was able to see where her job could take her, but was unable to get past the ceiling because of stereotypes that women had to deal with during this time.
Right, but I think my son is just going through a phase. I have no idea where he would have gotten a hold of German pornography. But you and I are mature adults. We've both seen our share of pornographic materials. Oh, you never have? Of course you haven't. How stupid of me. Neither have I. I was just speaking in generalities. Right, I'll stop by the school a little later, Sister Margaret. Bye.
Ed, she insisted on coming in.
Mr. Harkin, sir, I will not have my first story at this news station be about a cat fashion show.
Miss Corningstone, ma'am, you will do the stories to which you are assigned.
Mr. Harkin, I am a damn good journalist, and this cat show thing is grade A baloney.
It is not baloney. Now go do your job, Missy.
It is baloney. Whoa. I could come back later, Mr. Harkin.
Oh, no. It's just parent stuff. It seems that our youngest, Chris, was on something called acid and was firing a bow and arrow into a crowd. You know how kids are.
All right.
Anywho, what can I do you for?
Well, Mr. Harkin, I feel like I have proven myself as a journalist and that I deserve the opportunity to take on more challenging stories.
Well, ask and you shall receive. Ah, yes, this just came across my desk. Here's a story of a 103-year-old woman out in Chula Vista who claims to have a recipe for the world's greatest meatloaf.
Ooh, now that's a hot lead.
Back in that time, America never had a woman news anchor, and although Veronica struggled, she ended up becoming the news anchor she wanted to, breaking through the glass ceiling by the end of the movie.
The men in the movie Anchorman are portrayed as confident, aggressive, powerful, and in charge people. And the women are just there for the men's entertainment.
Thanks for tuning into our segment, the Afternoon Delight Special. Tune in next week and we'll be covering Borat.
I hope you learned a thing or two about Hollywood and their portrayal of women and men. You stay classy, Indiana.